These are going to be the optimal settings to use if you're going to live stream via a USB cable on a DJI Action4. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this USB cable so that we get into UVC mode for live streaming. Puts the camera into webcam mode. So click on webcam and in we go. You're going to see over on the right hand side in the middle of the screen a little icon, a couple of lines with dots on them. You're going to want to go ahead and click on that. And if the Pro light is not lit up orange or yellow, then you're going to want to go ahead and touch that. And what this is going to do is it's going to unlock the exposure setting, which you can see at the moment is set to auto. Auto works great in super bright environments, but if it gets dark, the stabilization starts to look really messy. So what we're going to want to do is lock some of the settings, and that'll make it look a little bit better. So in the exposure area, you're going to go ahead and click on M for manual. That's going to go into this mode, and as you can see at the moment, this is set wrong because it's super dark because the ISO is only allowed to go to 100. So we're going to want to let the camera adjust the ISO from 100 to 12,800 by just going down to that setting, and you can see the image gets quite a lot brighter. The next thing we're going to want to do is manually set the shutter to the appropriate shutter setting for where you live. I'm in Tokyo, so the grid here, electrical grid, runs at 50 Hertz. So what I'm going to do is not want to run at 1/60th of a second because you can see all of that flickering that's taking place on the camera. So if I go ahead and I match that to the local grid, which is 50 Hertz to 1/50th, then all the flickering goes away. And it will be reasonable looking in low light. It'll stop a lot of the mushy issues that you end up just running the auto in low light. Of course, if you live someplace where the grid runs at different frequencies, you're going to want to try probably 1/60th or 1/50th. Basically, whichever one doesn't blink. You could also run it a little bit higher at 1/100th or 1/20th. And that might actually help as well. But that's not how you say 1/20th. You get it. Depending on where you're at and what the low light situations are. But I find that it's probably just best to just use 1/50th or 1/60th. Then just go ahead and hit confirm and then go about your streaming. Do remember that if you end up into a situation where it's bright again, the sun comes out, you're going to want to go ahead and change this back to auto so that the camera can drive the shutter speed to wherever it needs so that the image isn't too bright. Because if you ran this at 1/50th or 1/60th in sunlight, it would be way, 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 way too bright. So just make sure that when you go back and forth, you make those adjustments, and you don't need to stop the stream or do anything else. You can just make the adjustments live while it's streaming and it'll immediately update itself. Same thing with all the stabilization and everything in this camera. So it's pretty handy and it'll make your low light streaming not beautiful, but a lot better.